Come on, bud. There you go, bud. Trying to see if I can. Trying to see if I can see like a bird or something up doing his thing, but nope. This is a lot cooler. Wetted everything down, and now it's all nice and moist. Everything's all wet. Wetness. Hey, pup. It's too hot, dude. I'm not enjoying it. Done with it. One more day of this shit. Yeah, but it ain't really going away. It's just gonna be less intense than it was. Oh, fuck me. There we go. Put you right there for a sec. Get my shirt on. There we go. Wait, pup. This. There we go. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah. Up. Back. Silly thing. There we go. Oh. What the fucking noise is that? There we go. Oh, cool. Sweet. Oh, alright, well, let's do this. Get this cracked open. Get a tune going. Yo, got a Discord thing you will want to save. I will want to save. I simply can't repost this enough. Look at me, I'm a human. I pay taxes, I have depression. I'm behind on chores. I'm a human being. Grr, grr, grr. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep that. Oh my god. Yeah, then you got my dog who's just like constantly happy to just simply exist. Which I wish to find that level of equilibrium and ability, but alas. Ooh, chilly. Man, I'm so warm that even like something that's basically refrigerated feels like it's fucking ice cream. Like frozen cold ice cream or something. Screen grab again without the quote post if you want. Oh yeah, I mean fair. Yeah, that should probably. Plus, it'll be a little bigger too. Yeah, that actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Whoa, a little too loud. There we go. Oh, sweet, there it is. Cool. Sweet. There we go. There we go. Got it. Sweet. I'm not gonna lie though, by the way, today, like, when I woke up and I went outside, I could have swore, like, I mean, I could have swore I smelled like some, like, fire smoke or something. Got back out of the stream, oh, that's what it would be captured too. Nah, it's all good. It did, I got it, and I was able to download it, so. But this morning, because I just got a whiff of it again. I could have swore, like, I smelled like what smelled like campfire, or like burnt, like, just burnt shit. And it's making me a little sus. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I hope there isn't, like, some fucking wildfire, like, in Oregon or something now. Because of these fucking temperatures. Luckily, I haven't really heard anything on the news or anything about that. At least not that I'm aware of. It was raining like mad only an hour and a half ago, and now it's like nothing happened. Are you serious? Like, you actually had a bunch of rain, and it didn't stop raining, and then it all just dried up. My lord. Yeah, I was kind of, when I was wetting things down with, outside, like, well, honestly, straight up, like, there's my dog decided to go explore the other neighbor's yard first, like, so I put the hose down while it's still running. I come back, you know, after I get my dog back over on my side of the yard and shit, like, straight up, like, I mean, there was, like, a 5 foot by 5 foot, like, puddle of water that was, like, spreading farther and farther away from itself, from the source point. Because, like, the ground is so dry that it really can't, like, absorb the water quick enough. So, if you dropped, like, a glass of water, like, the ground that, like, it would be on, that you would pour all that water on, would not be able to absorb all that water. Like, a bunch of it would just stay on the surface. So, that honestly just kind of made me, like, what the fuck? I was like, how am I stepping on this puddle? And then it eventually just kind of like absorbed itself in eventually. I'm gonna have to do this again, probably either later tonight or tomorrow or something like that. At least 1 or 2 more times. Just to try to keep things moist and wet it down a little bit, because it actually does help with cooling things down for a little bit. Though after a while, like, because of all the moisture, adds like a little bit of local humidity, and that, you know, genuinely, you know, like, will, like, that would generally kind of cause a little extra heat for a temporary amount of time. But usually because of that cool down, though, it basically just kind of brings it back up to regular temp. I see steam come off the roads where it rained because it's so hot. I saw that too, like when I was wetting down my shit earlier, because it's definitely that hot for it. And also, like, I've definitely had times where I've seen that shit, yeah, before. It's kind of cool. It's a cool little effect, but, I mean, not when it's so fucking hot and it rains so suddenly. You want it to cool down. Like, you don't want that steaming away, because that's good, cool air. That's just, like, evaporating away because of heat. It's like, fuck that, dude. Hell no. It's 89%. Yeah, I don't know what like the broader area would be like, you know, but I'm sure my specific little area has probably got a little heightened sense of humidity. Okay, it says 86, but I know that is bullshit. There is no way it's 86 right now. Hold on. Yeah, it's 93. And then it's gonna get to 95, 99, then 100. The peak looks like it's 103. So definitely not as hot as it was yesterday, but frankly 3 degrees, what the fuck is the difference? Yeah, what's the humidity here? It is 32, so I guess I just got like a third humidity, which that just don't seem right, because I live by a fucking river. Like, not even that far away, you know, is a river. Like, about, I don't know, I'd say about, like, fucking, give or take, probably about, like, you know, a mile to a mile and a half. There's a fucking river, like, that way. Like, that way to the west. Like, I mean, there's a lot of water because of that. I live in, like, you know, a watershed. Like, I mean, I'm in a pretty moist area, so you'd think it would be a lot of humidity. But I guess not. I guess all that, like, humidity gets condensed into where the water actually is, so if you're not directly next to it, you don't really feel it. Which I suppose is nice, but, I mean, ugh. Still, there's a bunch of shittiness. Fucking fly, really? You wanna play? You wanna play, bitch? I'm like ready to fucking like. Hey, Zooks! Alright. Hey! Buddy! Feel like being choked up and not in kink away. Yeah. I hate it. It's just horrible. Which is why I said I'm honestly kind of surprised I don't really have that much where I'm at. I mean, especially considering that, I'm also thinking about it, like, I mean, because of the Willamette Valley and the Columbia, just because of the geography around here, like, a lot of, you know, winds and stuff are either northern or southern winds. You know, because of the valleys and stuff. Like, I mean, so, like, whatever fucking, you know, like, humidity or wet bulbness or whatever the fuck, like, I mean, that would either come from the north or the south, essentially, for the most part. I mean, so it's just like, you know, so I'm sitting here thinking, like, what the fuck? Not that I'm necessarily complaining, but almost double the humidity of Louisiana, pardon my French, but it's retarded. Granted, their temp is 20 degrees higher currently. Oh, God. Dude, how in the fuck are any of you, like, south of the Makes and this Dixon line surviving, dude? Like, holy shit. I would honestly probably legit die. Like, the only time I could live in anywhere, like, in the south or the equator, just in general, is during the winter. And even then, that's skeptical. Bloody water. Which we're also kind of slowly but surely running out of. At least, you know, clean, drinkable one. Oh, sweet, my package is on the way. Just got myself a little shop notification. Yay, my ammo. haven't bought ammo in a while, so finally I decided to fucking say screw it and buy a bunch. Honestly, I probably should have been doing that for a little bit anyway. But woo, I know, right? Woo! Lose water. Things getting hotter. Awesome. A pretty good lunch overnight protein. It's two toasted PB&Js with banana and almond milk. That sounds pretty good. Meanwhile, I'm over here just like having a donut. Well, I did have a donut. Yes, to drink almond milk, don't hate. I am. Honestly, almond milk could be okay. It's not like it's. I prefer to regular milk personally. Oh, you fucker! Come on. What kind of donut? It was like one of those. It was like. It wasn't a glazed, but it was like, you know, one of those donuts that normally would be like a glazed donut, but instead of glazed, it just had like a little bit of sugar on top. Not like a full-on powdered or sugar donut, but, you know, one of those. It had like a light glaze to it to kind of keep all the sugar together. But it was pretty good. It was good with the coffee. Sounds good. Yeah, it's a little something to snack on, at least until work, when I can buy myself a little extra treats or snacks and stuff. Make myself a little something. Testing. It's there. I see it. Is YouTube being shit? Is YouTube being like, nah, we're just gonna let the chat be all fucking wonk now? Like we have been for like since our last update. DC image above sounds good. What kind of donut? I didn't see. Well, outside of the what kind of donut, no. It was what kind of donut sounds good, and then the testing. So YouTube was being a piece of shit and decided to just not send something. Great, love it. Thank you, YouTube. Did show what? Yeah. YouTube's fucking weird, dude. Like, like, it really, honestly, it's only been very recently when this has been kind of an issue. And I know it's definitely on YouTube's end. So whatever the fuck they did for their chat, like, UI interface thing, you know, whatever the fuck for their, you know, platform, they fucked it up. I don't know in what way, but they definitely need to fix that. But instead of just like doing a more immediate like fix and just a quick update or something, they're probably just gonna put it in with like the next big update bulk or whatever the fuck. All milk is actually cheaper than lactose-free milk we used to get. It's honestly kind of surprising. You would think like an alternative would be more expensive than regular milk, even if it is lactose-free. You would think it would be a little bit more spendy, because like at least in our store we have, you know, all milk, oat milk, stuff like that, and it, you know, and honestly it's, I mean, it depends on the brand obviously, but it's at least like comparable to some of the more expensive brands of like Yale milk and shit, but not really like expensive in the sense it's like fucking like $5 or some shit, but more like, you know, instead of like, you know, for a gallon of like Lucerne, which would probably be like $3 or $2 or something, you know, if you got like, you know, some sort of a carton of oat milk or something like that, it'd probably be like the equivalent of that price. So I mean, it would be expensive in the sense you're getting less, but we get great value. Great value. Yeah, I mean, you can't really afford to choose brands really when you have to like be cheap. So I get that. I do the same thing. I mean, I usually try to find Signature Select items because that's the store's like brand name, and honestly, they're not really that much different to like national name brands. Actually, in some ways, they tend to be a little better. Like some of those like signature select like meals that you can like get frozen and microwave up. Those are actually legit way better than like some of the national brand stuff. I don't know why specifically. I think it's just because just how they make it or whatever the fuck before packaging it up or something. But I mean, honestly, I will say it is a little better. I mean, for what it is, at least. It's not like you're getting like something gourmet, obviously, but at least it's not terrible. It actually tastes pretty decent. Like, I haven't seen it forever, but like there used to be just like microwavable like signatures like mac and cheese with bacon and breadcrumb things. I used to fucking like get those all the time because it'd be something simple. I get I could eat 2 of those and be nice filled up. Put a bunch of bacon bits on there, salt and pepper that bad boy up. Dude, it was fire. And it's basically just the same mac and cheese that we use in our hot case, but the difference is that they assemble it all there at the plant where they package all that shit instead of like the actual packages getting sent to us to where we serve it to people. So it's like, I mean, it's all really that's kind of another thing too. Like, it's all relatively the same shit that I would be serving to people as well. It's just that you make it at home. Basically. And, so that's kind of another thing too. Like, a lot of it kind of gets sourced from the same places. It just kind of goes to, like, different areas depending on, like, where it's going to get, made into. Whether it's, like, for the store itself for hot case, deli use, or if it's, like, to be packaged up for, like, something cold, to be in the freezer or something. I mean, what's honestly kind of weird, though, is that, like, despite it all being pretty much the same, it all comes from different places. Like, like the prepackaged mac and cheese stuff I'm talking about, that gets, that comes from a totally different place, in comparison to, like, the packages of, like, mac and cheese that we, put in our soup warmer, and then when we serve that up and stuff. Like, it's honestly, like, just the weirdness of capitalism with that one. Because you think, I mean, it could all be just like, like all kind of like manufactured or sent from the same place, essentially. Which, I mean, it probably is to a degree, but, like, I mean, it's just a weird chain. Like, because depending on where it's going, it will go to a totally different state, totally different area, like a totally different, processing. It's just interesting. It's kind of like, like kind of see how much of a web just for one thing can be. What's really awesome? Frozen vegetables, canned beans, or just dry beans. Then you put that in some seasonings for me. If quesadillas, pasta. Yeah, basically like some stir fry, some beans and stuff. Fuck up. It's the first time I had a burp out of a coffee in a long while. Damn. Honestly, I haven't had beans in a minute. Well, not in like the fat minute, but I haven't had beans in like a week or 2. Beans are pretty good. Come back. Come back, bitch. Come on. This fucker. This fucking fly, bro. Come on, motherfucker. Alright, wants to land over here. Wait, where the fuck is... Oh, I see. Oh, it's in a weird spot. Fuck. I cannot tell if I hit it or not. It was in a weird spot. I could not tell. I don't see it flying around, so... Hopefully. Fucker. Just do driving and prep takes like a day, but you can literally get like 4 or 5 times the amount as a can. Then you can just freeze what you have left over. Yeah, that's true. Plus, beans are, you know, something that really goes bad easily. Like, as long as you freeze them and stuff, it'll be fine. And then all you have to do is just unfreeze them and, you know, prep them up however you want after that. Go. Let's gotta see what's going on for today. First fucking thing is a deepfake AI version of Freebird, but it's by Donald Trump. Not even kidding. Like, this fucking what? It's literally the first thing. Oh my god. And it's 10 minutes, so it includes the full solo too. I mean, Jesus Christ. I will admit, I am kind of tempted to click it, but I'm not. I already can feel it in my head, and that already I think is enough. There's a few things going on here. Now, wow, okay. Wow, so I guess Tuesday's a new Monday or something when it comes to, like, you know, news drops. My god. So that's... so you know Halloween's still always away, but I have writing plans. I'm planning on writing 1 arc or 2 stories that tie into some series I'm doing. And 1 standalone story, in total at least 4 posts for a month. Nice. Yeah, pretty much like a post a week. Oh man, there's a Kyle video I want to check out, but it hasn't even uploaded yet. I have to wait like fucking 45 minutes. Motherfucker. He has this thing previewed for 2. Son of a bitch. Yeah, it's literally upcoming. Motherfucker. Why not just, like, straight up, like, just have it up, you son of a bitch. Oh. Now he's teasing me with video. It's like, you asshole. And it's honestly a pretty, fucking egregious one, too. It's about Texas, of course. Which, oh my god. I'm gonna have to let my mom know I really, really don't want to go to that fucking shithole of a state. Like, I don't want to have my money, like, there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to, like, I just don't want to be there. Like, if I can help it, I want to avoid that place. Like, fuck. You know, I got family there and shit. Now, honestly, if it is, like, the old man, like, you know, fuck, I have to, then fine. But fuck, dude, if I can help it, holy shit. Because, just fuck that place. I mean, it's pretty, like, overtly adamant at this rate that, like, fucking shithole of a state would, like, overtly, you know, want me either dead or just, like, you know, fucking kicked out anyway. So why would I want to be there? There's a guy listening to my video about, like, which I'm sure he's technically gonna make public today, but for some reason I somehow, like, am able to watch him early, because he will post them early on, like, Patreon stuff. Like, because I follow him on Patreon, so, like, I'm able to at least, you know, like, I watch some of them, like, at least, like, the night prior. And at least with that one, like, it was, like, I mean, it was pretty much saying it's, like, you know, obviously, moving or getting out of these states is, you know, like something that, you know, a lot of people can't necessarily just do, obviously. But it's just one of those things, and it means if you can't, you know, you can help it, you know, just don't go to these places or move out of them. You know, and like, see, I pretty much am on that position. It's like if I can avoid any state south of Mason-Dixon line and Idaho, or pretty much any of these fucking far-right states, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. Not even to pass through them. Like, if I can help, like, you know, like, if I had to drive, you know, from, like, one state to another and had to drive through multiple states, I would literally go out of my way to take a long way around. And go for states that aren't shitty. Because I don't want to be stopped by, like, some Texas Ranger looking at, like, some PNW stoner hippie like me and seeing, like, you know, oh, you're also a queer, too? Oh, yeah, that's gonna look good. That's gonna look good to those fucking Gestapian motherfuckers. Yeah. Totally won't, you know, detain me and fucking, you know, put me away for questioning about some random shit. Trying to, you know, come in here and try to, like, groom children here, you fucking lefty groomy. Use imagination first. Yeah, have a green apple. Popsicle stick on this stemless top. Put out caramel. Dip the apple now. Okay, so caramel apple and burnt apple crumbs, mini marshmallows, and chocolate chips. Then microwave for a few seconds to make the marshmallows melty. I mean, I feel like wouldn't the caramel kind of start melting more at that point? Like, I feel like you would want to, like, maybe, like, pre-warm up the schmellows, I would think. Like, maybe put them in, like, a little bowl and set them in there for, like, 15, 20 seconds or something like that. At no more than 30. You know, and then, you know, and then at least it'll be kind of soft, because then when you put the, you know, caramel apple and kind of smush it around, it'll already be kind of soft, and it could kind of like melt into the caramel and everything else. Think so? I mean, I would think so, because like if you know, got like, you know, hot caramel and stuff, it's already going to be, you know, like drippy and stuff, and if you put it in the microwave a little bit so the schmellows can kind of get soft and everything, I mean, I feel like that would also kind of, you know, reheat the caramel too, and thus kind of make things drip and melt a little bit, so you have to like, you know, do the process a little bit. At least when it comes to like rolling things around and to add the, you know, layering on the outside. At least I would think so. At least a little bit. How to mix the caramel with the Hashimura flavor. Oh, you know what? I just thought of a fucking idea. Layers. Blowtorch? No. You get, the first layer will be caramel, and then you get some graham cracker, and then you melt like a little small pot of chocolate, and then you dip it in that bitch, and then you get the schmellows, get them all nice and soft, you know, in the microwave separately, and then roll it around in the schmellows so it kind of like melts into the chocolate layer a little bit. Dude, multi-layer, bro. That might actually help, because then it'll kind of keep everything kind of all congealed a little bit. Oh, I think I just figured out a way where you can microwave it. Freeze the apple. Like, once you get, you know, the layers going, and you have just a chocolate layer, put it in the freezer for like 10 minutes or something like that so it gets cold. And then, you know, put it back out, and then, you know, and then, like, just slightly warm it up by itself for a second. You know, not enough to where it, you know, starts to get, you know, like melty or whatever, but just enough to where you can kind of get the schmellow stuck to it. And then you put it back in there for like another 30 seconds, and then, boom. I think that might be the trick right there. Just came, dude. Yeah, bro, I think we found the trick before that one. I mean, to be fair, it might, you know, require a little bit of an experimentation, but I feel like, you know, that process might be it. Like, to do the multi-layer thing, I like this idea, but you need to go easy on the marshmallow. It can be overpowering. That is true. Like, if anything, you want it kind of dotted, you know. You don't want the whole thing covered in schmellows. You want it kind of like sprinkles in a way. You want it sprinkled on there. But if you're having like a chocolate surrounding, you could probably have a little extra shmallow instead of it if you were just rolling it all together. You know, if it was like chocolate bits. So, you know, because if it was just like bits, you know, with the graham cracker and stuff, then, you know, obviously you want less shmallows. But if it's just like a whole, you know, like a whole surround, like, you know, that caramel layer, the graham cracker, then that chocolate layer, then you can get away with putting a little bit more shmallows on there. So I feel like that would actually, you know, be able to be a little bit more liberal with the shmallows. What if you use chocolate marshmallows? Then it'll be like some extra fudge, graham cracker, caramel apple bite, dude. I mean, that would be pretty fucking legit, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think it would be the same. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same. It would definitely be different, but it still sounds good. It didn't hit me the same way that, you know, with the first thing we're talking about here, but it definitely kind of got me like that. Come on, bitch, fly back over here, motherfucker. Come on, come on. Oh, here we go. What, you brought Buddy with you? Come on, bitch, get back here. That's right. Come on. Where the fuck do you go now? In place of the chocolate chips? I mean, yeah, at that point it definitely wouldn't be the same. I was thinking more like if you replace the regular shmallows with those type of shmallows, but I don't know, it might still work. Trying to think what other little like options could be done for this, because now my mind's just on this whole caramel apple. Like, now I want one, dude. It got me thinking about it. Now I really want one. Surrounded by a layer of cookie, like freeze caramel apple, then layer of cookie dough and bake it. Yeah, I think that could be something that could work. Honestly, that could work. I'm sure someone's done that before, to be frank. At the very least, they probably have had like little cookie dough bits. You know, like maybe like, you know, caramel apple with like some sort of like crumbs or something around it, and then like, you know, cookie dough bits of some other stuff. I'm sure that's probably been done, but not into like a full like cookie caramel apple like thing. Like, I don't think like the full round thing you're talking about. But I don't see why it couldn't be done. I mean, I guess like the thing, or I guess the trick would be is the apple. Like, I mean, because the apple itself will also get kind of cooked too. So you'll have like kind of a cooked apple as well. So I mean, I guess the caveat is, do you want the apple cooked? Because I'm sure there's probably a way to where you could have like there has to be some other fruits that could work. So caramel peach, a caramel peach. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. You know what? Damn right, bro. Yeah, why is there not other fucking fruits? Dude, caramel peach just legit sounds fucking banging, dude. And then also there's, you know, just one gigantic fat seed instead of a bunch of seeds. So you can legit eat the entire peach and have the seed left over instead of having this core left. Laying on an air mattress. Oh my god, you're in the trailer. Ugh. You're back there for one night. Caramel grapefruit, pass. Tomato, double pass. Yeah, those definitely would not work at all. And orange wouldn't really work either because of the fucking skin. Unless you de-skinned it. Caramel pears. I think that could work. I love pears, so legit, I think that could work. I haven't had a pear in a fat fucking minute. Storage unit's massive and full to the brim. Oh shit, so you might have, you know, like a couple more nights. Well, just know this, at least it's only temporary. Pineapple? Pineapple. Maybe? I mean, I feel like it would work, but the thing is, like, I mean, it would be, I mean, they're very juicy, you know? Like, they got a lot of fluid, so it's like, I mean, that'd be more of an appetizer. Yeah. It definitely would. Like a sweet appetizer. Okay. Alright, what's laying up here? Alright. Ha! Did I just get you? Oh, fuck. Really? Okay, well, that happened. Motherfucker. Gotta unplug the... Here we go. Caramel watermelon, like a Congo-sized one. Just a big, gigantic caramel size. Dude, that would actually be pretty fucking good. I mean, the thing is, at least the caveat for, I think, you know, fruits like pineapple or watermelon and stuff is that like, they're very juicy, so it's like you would have to kind of try to deal with that. I mean, because you know that's going to kind of impede on the whole, you know, the whole, like, keeping the caramel together. Maybe not that much, I mean, but you'll have to kind of sit there and, like, layer that fucker for a minute. So fruits with low moisture content? Well, not necessarily. Like, because I think, like I said, I think they could work, but you might just have to, like, you know, make sure it's layered. Like, you know, dip it in there, kind of get it good, dip it out, let it sit for a second, dip it back in. You know, like, you might have to do it a few times. Like, I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it could work, but it's just one of those things where you might have to do it a little bit. Like, for an apple, obviously, you could just dip it once and just kind of, like, you know, let it all do its thing, and it's all good. And then there you go, you got a caramel apple. But for like a pineapple or something like that, I mean, you know, you gotta like, you know, I feel like dip it in a little more, just because of all the juice content. Plums, yeah, plums will work. I think kiwis could too. I feel like I got a sneeze coming up. Yep. Wait, do I? Yep. God, that one built up for a while. Bananas. I feel like you would probably need to have one that is kind of green, so it's a little bit more stiff. Which I actually kind of prefer bananas that way, like where it's not completely green, obviously, but like kind of a little bit of green and yellow. So like kind of 50-50. I kind of like that shit right there. That's my favorite type of banana. If funny enough, actually, there's actually different health benefits for different stages of banana. Like, unironically. Like, for the kind of the greenish yellow bananas, like when you eat those have different health benefits. If you eat just a regular full ripe yellow banana, those have slightly different health benefits. And even if you have one that has a little bit of brown spots and stuff, even funny enough, those have different health benefits if you eat those. Like, I mean, bananas are actually very healthy, dude. They're really good for you. And luckily, I love bananas. So aren't really Christian anymore. I mean, Trump supporters never really were Christians. I mean, they're like, they pretty much established a new religion. It's basically Christianity, but instead of Jesus and God, they see Trump as the replacement. I mean, like, I honestly do believe that they essentially, you know, have their own religion now. You miss any fruits? Cantaloupes? Honeydews? Dragon fruit. Actually, there's a lot of exotic fruits that we're missing. Like, cause there's a lot of various different fruits that are pretty good. That are pretty exotic. There's also one called what's it called? It's a brown sugar plum. That's not literally what it is. It's not a plum technically, but like it's like kind of a type of exotic fruit that's found in different places in Oceania and like Polynesia and Indochina and shit, and in mainland Asia as well in some parts. And basically, when it ripens up, it's, you know, something that it can easily be ripped apart. And when you eat it, it has like this very sweet brown sugar kind of flavor to it. And apparently, it's really good, and also pretty healthy for you too, because that's big enough to dip in caramel toppings. Well, I mean, you know, if you get a big enough pot, like, or maybe even, like, you know, just kind of cut, like, I feel like if you cut down, you know, a cantaloupe or a watermelon, like, you can make it work. Coconut, I feel like being practical. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could take the shell off, and then you can have, like, the coconut meat, you know, just as a round ball, you know, that's hollow. You can make, like, you know, a caramel, like, bowl of a sorts out of that. Like, you know, have the inside of it layered as, like, a caramel bowl almost. That actually does sound like it'd be pretty good. Like, get the, like, coconut meat, you know, and then, you know, layer the inside and top of it, you know, with, caramel, and you have the bottom just kind of not really touched, because, you know, obviously don't want to hold it. You know, so it's like... And then you could just put different things in there, like some fruits, maybe even ice cream or something like that. I mean, like, I feel like, you know, for a coconut, you would just have to do some different things with it. So I'm not... Was this it? Sapoda? Oh, yeah, I think you were the one who told me about it. Yeah, Sapoda. Yeah, because you were showing me this because of, like, some meme or something that Stancy Potenza was doing. Yeah, it's these things. Yeah, the Minocara Sapoda. That's their scientific name. Yeah, look, dude, look at that. Dude, that looks good. I'd eat that. High in carbs, so pretty decent amount of energy. A little bit of fat content. A lot of vitamin C. And pretty decent, you know, some iron. Got some magnesium in there. And some potassium, so, you know, good for that. It's from Spanish zapote, which is ultimately derives from Sahatal word Zapottle. Other names. Dude, look at that fat basket. Sapadilla fruits being sold on the street in India. Most common of these names, like sapadilla or chica zapote, comes from Spanish meaning little zapote. Other names in English for any Minocara zapota include Bully tree, sour, or marmalade plum. I've also heard brown sugar plum before, too. You work today? Yep, I do indeed. Charlie quit Twitch? Yeah, I saw that video. He didn't really quit Twitch. He just, ended his contract with Twitch. So he can at least, broaden his horizons and stuff. Because I actually never knew why, Charlie never really, streamed anywhere else, but it's because of his Twitch contract. Like, he was pretty much only allowed to stream on Twitch. I mean, he was allowed, I think, post clips and stuff, but, at least when it came to streaming, he had to stay on Twitch for that. So, I mean, in a way, to broaden those horizons, he decided to, and actually even make, broadly the content better, because he knew he was kind of weighing him down, and he decided to terminate the contract. Twitch was fine with it. I mean, from my understanding, it doesn't mean he's not gonna, stop streaming on Twitch. He's just, from my understanding, not really, using that as his primary source anymore. Because from what I understand, I think, from how he described it, it sounds like it's just gonna kind of do multi-platform streaming, like he'll stream there and on YouTube and, or maybe one other platform. Because some streamers do that, where they'll stream on YouTube and Twitch. But, I mean, I'd say honestly that's good for him. I mean, especially considering that, I kind of felt like, something that he should probably be, a little bigger with, so to speak. But, honestly, hopefully that does, because, I mean, I certainly would like to tune into, a lot of these, content creators I do watch, like Troy, for example, when it comes to their streams, but, they're all on Twitch, and I'm banned from Twitch from, forever ago, and I frankly don't give enough of a fuck to go back there, so, it's well, now, just hope I can find clits, oops, Freudian slip. Hopefully I can find some clips, or something like that, that people upload. Jesus Christ. So it says they're giving you some chocolate caramel treats. It makes you excited. They give you some chocolate caramel raisins, your next move. I get the punt gun and I aim it at their face and I say any last words. If you don't know what the punt gun is, look it up. It's retardedly huge for a fucking gun. It's meant to be a bird hunting weapon, by the way. And it's fucking huge and ridiculous. It's basically like a gigantic howitzer operated by a man. By one person. Because the whole idea is that you either had this gigantic fucking tripod bipod mount thing, or you would have it on a boat. Literally on this little pontoon boat thing, and you'll lay down on it, and you would just sit there and look at a big, fucking flight birds and shit, and cause them to all fly. And the idea was that you would shoot, which obviously you can imagine the recoil will be fucking insane, because it is. And the idea is that it's supposed to take out literally as many fucking birds that are taking off and flying away as possible. Basically birdshot, but howitzer sized. It's ridiculous. I mean, here, maybe I could try to, I'm sure I could look up a fucking video, or just maybe at least a picture. Oh my god! Yeah, here's an illustration. Yeah, that's an illustration of what I'm talking about. With the little pontoon, and you got the punt gun where you just lay down, or I guess in this illustration he's sitting, and you have it mounted to this weird thing, and then you just shoot it at all those birds, and you're supposed to basically get all of them with that, hypothetically. Here, let's see if there's actual pictures of it. Oh, here's a real picture of a guy using it. Yeah, see, this guy's laying down with his. Dude, look at this fucking thing. I mean, look how ridiculous this is. It's fucking ridiculous. He's way over here. Oh my god, look at this old dude. He's way in the back of this fucking... Dude, imagine when this thing gets shot, dude. That boat is gonna go yeet all the way across that fucking lake, bro. It's almost twice the size of this guy. I mean, look at it. I mean, look at this. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absurd. It's so fucking absurd. I mean, like, who needs such a thing? I mean, if I would have one just as, like, a fun wall piece, to be like, yeah, that's a gigantic fuck you shotgun. And, like, have it as a conversation piece, but there's no way in fucking hell you can pay me to shoot that thing. There is no way in hell. My god, that thing is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure if you, like, took it down to the brass tacks, I'm pretty sure that fucker has to at least be, like, a 20 millimeter or something, if you think about it. Like, that barrel, it, like, I mean, honestly, the breach of it is, like, this fucking huge. I mean, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, holy fuck, dude. Oh. Heck, you fucked, bitch. When you can punch so hard, it does area effect damage. That's basically the punt gun in a nutshell. It's basically you punch something so hard, you do like effect damage like everywhere else, including it to yourself. It's a weapon that damages literally everything in yourself. You being the one who takes the least amount of damage.
Are you recording this? Bro, both of y'all get out. I'm not leaving. Right now. I'm not leaving. Bro, leave before I have to make you leave myself. You're not gonna hit me. Dog, I will slide you. I will slide you.
I'll slide you.
You're not gonna hit me. Both of y'all leave right now. Bro, you're not. Now get out. Nigga, that ain't even hurt. Hey, delete that video, bro. Oh!
Oh shit!
Now get out. Wait, what? You did that by punching me? Yeah, pick him up. You did that by punching me? Yeah, peel him up.
Dude, he down. He's down for the count.
Wow!
I like how he barely took any damage, but his buddy over there is just out.
Your hits are astounding. Yeah, both of y'all out. Oh my gosh, bro. Now you get to pick him up and take him out with you. Now you get to carry him.
Now you get to carry him.
What's up, y'all? So look, I actually have a longer video planned for y'all this week, but
Oh, was that it? Oh, hey. A longer video plan? Well, hey, it's 6 years ago. Did that ever come out? I'm sure it did. But that really do be the vibe, though. Man, dude, if that shit honestly legit happened, like, where it's like, hey, you know, it's like a fight happens. Well, actually, sometimes it can. Like, you know, like, if you try to, like, either break up a fight or you help your buddy in a fight, sometimes, like, you know, you just get some of that, like aerial effect damage. Like, if someone's just swinging real hard and you just, like, get in there and just, you know, just get sidewinded and shit. I mean, mosh pits can be like this sometimes. Like, I've had times where unintentionally, obviously, not on purpose, but, you know, someone's, you know, elbow will be like, boom, you know, just right in the face, right in the gut, you know, or something like that. You know, it's just like aerial effect damage. I mean, sometimes it happens, but, you know, it's like, hey, you know, it's price that happens when it comes to shit. But caramel mango work, technically the skin is edible, but not might be safe for some to eat. I don't mind the skin myself. I've never had issues with it personally, so, I mean, to me, it would be okay. I actually never knew that, you know, like, the skin of mangoes isn't really safe for some people. Yeah, still got some. I didn't find out you could eat this skin until recently. Oh, really? You know, you can also technically eat the skins of bananas. Like, I mean, from what I understand, they're actually legit pretty healthy for you to eat the skins, but, like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, do I want to really, like, you know, try to chew for that? It tastes horrible. It's not really, well, for me, it's not really that it tastes horrible. It's just like, how in the fuck do you crunch down on that shit? Like, cause I've tried, honestly, and I've ate some before, but honestly, it's just like, I mean, it's one of those things where it doesn't seem like it's worth the effort. Might as well just like have the actual banana itself, you know what I mean? Fruit, yeah, you can candy it, yeah. That would definitely work. Yeah, here. Let's check out a couple things for today. Let's see what's happening. We got our big Krispy Kreme donut boy over here, and I'm definitely feeling like this is, you know, gonna kind of affirm more of my soft spot, you know, for this guy. Am I the only one that has a soft spot for Krispy Kreme? I don't know why. There's no real reason, you know, for me to have a soft spot for him, but I kind of do, though. I mean, maybe it's just because he is kind of one of the, like, I don't know, like, least egregious of the Republicans, I think. I think it's just because of that. Like, I mean, out of all of them, he's, like, the least shittiest piece of shit, you know what I mean? Like, he's like a little, like, rat turdlet in comparison to, like, the diuretical horse shit that, like, the rest of the GOP is, you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, he's still shit, you know? He's obviously still shitty. But he's, like, the least shitty of them all. Maybe not of them all, but at least when it comes to the more national prominent ones, he kind of is, you know? Like, I mean, that's why I feel like I have a soft spot for him, because, like, hypothetically, if we were to have Chris Christie as the president, which that would never happen, but let's just play it around with that idea. I feel like, I mean, it would just basically be standard Republican economic policy shit. I mean, I feel like, you know, social policy-wise, there wouldn't really be, you know, much change outside of the same shit we're kind of dealing with. I don't really think Christie would play one way or the other. You know, I feel like, I mean, he might go for the woke thing, but more so just to pair it to his base, you know, just so it could kind of keep some level of support. But I don't really feel like he would go to the same levels as DeSantis or something. I mean, like I'm saying, he's still a piece of shit, still dog water, like, fuck him. But, I mean, you know, like, I don't know, I got a little bit of a soft spot for the guy. It's just Matt Pence got VP and not him. Well, yeah, look, I mean, that's legit what happened. I'm aware. Look, like I said, I'm not, like, praising him. I'm just saying I have, like, a little soft spot because he's not, like, the most shittiest of them all. He's still shitty. Like, I mean, whatever praise I'm giving him is, like, you know, praising the fact that, you know, little rat turd has, like, a little cherry on it or something.
He went on Newsmax, which is a very, very pro-Trump network, and Eric Bolling is talking to him here. And Christie's going to do what Christie's been doing nonstop, which is absolutely take a mallet to Donald Trump's face. I should be clear, they're talking about...
I see. I mean, I have a bit of soft spot for Krispy Kreme. Like, who doesn't? Well, I kind of did. I said for the Krispy Kreme, you know, because I'm meaning, you know, Krispy Kreme. But, you know, I do obviously have a soft spot for Krispy Kreme as well. I mean, you were close, though. I mean, you were pretty much a word off. I mean, maybe when I said it initially, you know, I mean, the part probably didn't, you know, catch it right off the bat, but yeah. But you're pretty much on spot on, though.
Trump keeps saying, like, I'm gonna get a negotiated settlement in 24 hours. I'll end it in 20...
I don't think anyone outside from maybe Cruz would have tried to help Trump on Chance 6. I feel like there was a couple others that probably would have as well. Like Bobbitt, Marjorie, like there's a few. In fact, they were pretty open and actually were. Like there were a few Congress folk and at least one, or at least a couple. But I've doubt that she'd be tapped for VP. Honestly, funny enough, I think there's only one reason why Trump won it. It's because she's ugly. Like, honestly, like, I feel like it would be more like either Carrie Lake or, like, Nikki Haley or something like that. I heard a lot of people were saying that he might pick Nikki Haley. You know, it's a possibility. Like, I mean, people feel like that, pretty confident that he will do that, but I feel like it's either that, maybe Bobbitt, but probably less likely so. I mean, you know, honestly... You know, like, he wants, like, some sort of, like, you know, doll face, you know, beauty pageant model-looking bitch, you know, for VP if he was gonna do that. She wouldn't be ugly if she wasn't a soulless husk. Dude, even if she wasn't, she is kind of a, frankly, an unattractive person. Honestly, just even as a person, she's not exactly that attractive. I mean, like, her body is, sure, I guess, but her face just kind of like... It does not do anything for me. And you can't say I'm sexist as shit, because there's plenty of women that have athletic fits like her, because she does work out a lot. I mean, frankly, not, you know, properly, but she does. You know, and, you know, so she does have that athletic fit that I like, but... I mean, you know, at least, you know, when it comes to pretty much, like, as soon as I see that face, I'm like, ah. It's like, oh god. It's like a rusted potato. It's like Mrs. Potato Head, dude. Yeah. A kelp demon. Oh my god. Women likes fat girls. I mean, I do too, but I also like them athletic. Which is kind of weird. I like them in both extremes. I like, you know, athletic and fit chicks, and I also like, you know, chubby and thick girls. I mean, average is, you know, great too, but, like, I kind of like the both ends of the spectrum with that one. Like, she emerged from the dark depths to drag you under. Dude, she totally would. That benefit woman. I mean, me neither, but, I mean, it's definitely something I'm attracted to.
4 hours, folks. It's an astonishingly ridiculous claim, and he's also contradicted himself in that he said, like, I'll actually give more weapons to Ukraine, way more than Joe Biden. So, clearly it's not real, but let's keep going.
I don't believe his claim of 24 hours. Anybody in their right mind does not believe.
Fuck! Would you fuck off?
The same way none of us should have believed 8 years ago when he said he was going to build the wall across the entire border. And we look at his results. 52 miles. You know what, Eric? If he gets another 110 years as president in that pace, he'll finish the wall.
You know, some would say, Governor, that there's something that came in towards the end there that kind of stopped production of anything called COVID.
Hey, Newsmax retard fuck. You do realize that, he started that shortly after he was elected. Oh my god, dude, this fucking idiot. Like, you're just gonna forget that there was, like, 3 years before COVID, you know, that, you know, he was, like, where all this was being stalled and all this other shit.
Call it the Chinese virus, so...
Oh, God.
No telling whether or not the wall would have been finished or not. Or you can tell me it won't. Another policy issue.
Eric, we talked about excuses for him, please. Please.
By no means am I making excuses for anybody.
Oh, but hold on, I'm not making excuses. Come on now. I mean, don't call me out for who I am. I mean, dude, dude, he really is a living Krispy Kreme. How much do you want to bet he does have like a dozen donuts, you know, waiting for him, you know, as soon as he does this? I mean, it's like, oh, after all this, I'm gonna need a little extra filling here. Oh my god, dude. You know what? This is why I partly have a soft spot, because, you know, I don't really give a fuck what his reasoning is. If he's just gonna go in there and be a blowhard and just, like, bash things in like a bull in a china shop, then let him do it. I think this is kind of why I have a soft spot for him, because he don't give a fuck. I mean, you know, he's in here to just, like, you know, just run in there like a bull in a china shop and just, like, kind of tear shit up a little bit. Like, I mean, I think, honestly, that's why I have a soft spot for him a little bit right now. It's because, you know, like, he did that a little bit, like, in the 2016 debates, at least near the very end, and I was like, It kind of threw me for a loop for a second, because he just kind of seemed like a stereotypical jock fuck, you know, basically. You know, and frankly, that's who he is. But, like, now he's just using it to just basically be, like, you know, I guess an anti-Trump maverick type. Which, honestly, in a way, I'm okay with. But I know who, you know, what his intentions are and all that shit. And that doesn't make him good. But at least I got a little soft spot for what he's doing. I mean, I'll grant him that, you know, so, you know, whatever. I mean, it doesn't, you know, add that many respect points. It adds, like, 1. But he has like a negative 1,000, so now he has a negative 999. So congrats, you're still in negative respect points there, you know, Krispy Kreme. But at least now you don't have 1,000.
He had 3 years of his presidency before COVID was anywhere near the United States or anywhere else in the world. So that means in 3 years...
Wow, so, hey, I was making that point earlier. Hey, good job, Christy. Hey. Yeah, good job. You're actually calling him out for something that is pretty fucking obvious.
He got 14 miles of wall done.
Maybe he deserves 2 dozen donuts after this one.
15 miles of wall done a year. Congratulations. You know, at that pace, he's going to have over 100 years as president to get it done. So,
dude, he is being smug and condescending as fuck, dude. Dude, I kind of like this. See, this is why I have a little soft spot, because he don't give a fuck, dude. He's just being a fucking smug-ass bull against these guys, and honestly, I kind of like it.
Making excuses for him. He's a big boy now. As much.
I mean, oh yeah, you know about big boys, don't you, Chris? I mean, you know, honestly, like, I mean, you know, why can't Democrats be like this? You know what I mean? Like, why can't, like, you know, Democrats be as aggressive as this dude? And honestly, he's not even being that aggressive. He's just being blunt, you know? And honestly, I just wish they were that fucking blunt about, you know, Trump and shit, just like this guy is.
Complains all the time about how much he's picked on. Can we not have people making excuses for him on that utter failure, especially from someone whose whole career is about being a builder?
The wall is not my issue. I am not pro-wall. But I like that he's holding up a mirror to the faces of the Trump supporters and saying, this is what you're signing up for. The thing he said more than anything else...
Fake aggressive like Chris. I mean... They're just against progressives. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the problem. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, that's the issue. Like, well, first of all, like, yeah, while Chris is maybe being, you know, fake aggressive, and even if Dems were fake aggressive about it, at least do something. At least be some aggressive, even if it is faux aggressiveness. Because the actual aggressiveness they have are, yeah, pretty much against progressives and make them fall in line. Like, so, yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of the issue. It's like if they took that energy, you know, just as much as they fuck with us and shit, you know, towards the actual Republicans, you know, shit could probably actually get done and we probably would actually see some results.
Campaign trail, we're gonna build
making these points to fill any other Republican. Well, yeah, duh. I mean, you don't see him making these points for DeSantis. I mean, to be frank, I don't know, like, what his opinions are about that or not. You know, he's pretty much like an anti-Trump maverick bulldog right now, so... Whatever, either way, like, I'm okay with it. And, oh my god,
Mexico is gonna pay for it, folks. They're gonna pay. And he's pointing out, you didn't build the wall, and Mexico didn't pay, and it's an attempt from a conservative Republican to say, maybe I am more of a conservative Republican, and he's just a charlatan and a fraud and a con man, and doesn't even mean the things he says, even when those things are things I clearly don't agree with. But I like it, and I like how Eric Bolling is, and you can see, look at Eric Bolling's smug face here. You can see he's doing...
How? You have him in a tiny corner.
But like, okay, I'll do the thing where I just like play defense for Trump, even though it's totally indefensible from my perspective, but, I mean, and Christie's like, there were 3 years before it came. What was he doing? I love it. Alright, let's see what else they talk about.
Say he...
Okay, I want to see a smug face. Oh, damn it. Yeah, he definitely has a smug look while he's talking here. He's just like, oh yeah. It's like, I'm totally not, you know, like, you know, making excuses and stuff here.
On that debate, say, don't you think it's the most of the questions and answers are going to be surrounding Trump?
He's like, come on, yeah. I mean, you know that these things, you know, just like hold up stuff every now and then. Oh my god, dude. He's kind of like flabbergasted a little bit.
It depends on what gets asked. I'll answer the questions. And there are other folks up there that we can certainly have discussions between us. You know, there'll be, if Donald Trump doesn't show up, I suspect there'll be 7 of us up there. And we'll discuss the issues that the voters of our party care about. And I'm sure his name will come up.
All right, so let me point this out. Trump is dodging the debate in the same way that Joe Biden is dodging the debate with Marianne Williamson and RFK. I think it should be a law. I think we should have to debate. I'm okay with having some rules and regulations around the law, like, okay, the candidate, the opponent has to be at least 2% and get X amount of small dollar donors. Like, I think that's fair.
Well, I mean, the dollar donation part I'm not too sure about, but at least having like some sort of like bare minimal base support, sure. I can at least, you know, get with that. Because the whole like, you know, money limit amount, I mean, who's to say that they can fuck around with that and be like, oh, you have to make a certain amount and it ends up being like a couple million or some shit. Or like, you know, some ridiculous like, you know, multi-million-dollar number that, you know, for some small dollar donated base candidate would be really hard to fucking achieve. I mean, it's like, I don't know about that one. But at least, you know, for like, yeah, like, you know, bare minimum like 2 or 3% support, sure.
But they should be forced to debate. This is supposed to be a...
But Kyle's kind of dad hot today. Yeah, he's not really doing the boy band aesthetic going on right now. He does kind of have like that, you know, Silver Fox dad bod kind of fit going on, dude. So what the and hey, you know what? I just realized. Oh, never mind. I thought that he changed the lighting a little bit to make it so that weird flag didn't have the blue diapers matter lines going on, but he still has that. God damn it. Kyle, change your lighting for fuck's sake.
Representative democracy.
It's not that hard. Will someone just point that out to him?
Tell me, like, oh, I can run, but also you're not allowed to test my ideas in a debate format. That's just not acceptable. And so Trump, of course, is doing this absolutely weaselly little bitch-ass move of, like, I'm not going to debate, because I'm like...
You know, I just realized that he actually moved his mic and made it so it's moved ever so slightly so it's more obscured. I just realized that, you know, I've just sort of noticed that he's obscured it more. Instead of changing the lighting, he just made it more hidden.
On the head. And it's a sign of weakness, even though he spins it like it's strength. He did this in, I think it was 2016, too, when he heard that Megyn Kelly was going to be hosting another debate, and Megyn Kelly was tough on him the time before. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going unless she's not there. And
I mean, it's basically kind of like, you know, one of the different archetypes of, like, you know, some sort of a fascist leader, basically. It's like the idea is, you know, basically, instead of, you know, oh, we're not being cowardly and backing out. No, we're being, you know, stoic and, you know, like, not going to be bending the knee to, you know, their conditions because, you know, we are, you know, strong and tough and we'll make sure that things are done the way we ought to make sure they're done. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, it's essentially like, you know, very mature, like, archetype of what, like, a lot of authoritarian leaders do and shit. I mean, it also, you know, it's a part of, like, the establishment of a cult of personality as well, because, like, if it gives the impression that, like, you know, that, oh, you know, I have to make sure things are done a certain way and done to my, you know, accordance and shit, and if not, then I'm just not going to be there or, you know, fucking disrupted or whatever the fuck. I mean, especially if you got a lot of support, then that adds a lot more of a, you know, sense of flair of, like, oh, well, if we don't do these things, then, you know, even the people might be, you know, mad at us, and that wouldn't be good, even though it's all mostly astroturfed. Because a lot of his, you know, cultists are just very fucking, like, loud and vocal and psychotic.
Although that was, like, super macho, but it was the exact opposite. And so that drives me crazy. That really frustrates me. So what I think he's going to do is he's going to say, actually, I'd love to do the debate, but I'm against having to sign the loyalty pledge because there's like 5 or 6 candidates I wouldn't support on the Republican side for president. So if you say I can't debate because I didn't sign the loyalty pledge, then I guess you're forcing me not to debate. I think that's what he's going to do a Weasley thing where he's like, oh, I'll debate, but I'm actually not going to debate. I think that's what he's going to do.
But like also that dad hot fall by saying they remind you of your dad comes across as tats. You know, kind of does a little bit. That's good Wednesday, so. Well, I mean, it's okay, fair enough. I mean, it does, though, a little bit. It's like, yeah, Kyle's looking like kind of like dad bod hot today. Kind of reminds me of my dad. It's like, you know, I will admit that does seem a little...
I doubt that I'll miss an opportunity to bring his name up, especially if he decides to chicken out and not show up.
You know, yeah, I mentioned that too.
Oh my god, even the fucking news host is laughing at that because he knows right. You know, he knows that Chrissy's a little right on that one.
And he's like, oh,
So you see what Bowling's doing there?
He's just being flubbered up and just like, because he was caught, dude. He's like, oh, well, I'm checking out. He would totally never do that.
Bowling's like, oh yeah, he's a chicken, for sure. It's like, well then show up and debate, son. Show up and debate. Because the fact of the matter is this. In 2016, nobody took him seriously on the stage, even though he was leaving. They thought he's going to fizzle out. He's going to eventually end up getting like 3% of the vote. People are going to wake up and realize he's a joke. And that didn't happen. So they waited way too long before they went after him. It's true. You know, and really, Jeb Bush is going to take you down? Little Marco Rubio is going to take you down? The fact of the matter is, the best debater up there, Chris Christie, was deployed as a weapon on behalf of Trump against Marco Rubio when he had a brief surge in the polls. And Christie had a deal with Trump. Hey, I'll go after him if you put me in your administration. And the talk was he was going to be VP, but then Jared Kushner stepped in and said, no, this is the guy who imprisoned my father. And so, no, I don't want him not only as VP, I don't even want him in the administration.
Oh my god, dude, man, the amount of fucking crazy interpolitic, like, bullshit that led up to all this is just fucking ridiculous, dude. And all of it's just so fucking petty. It's like, oh, he arrested my daddy, don't make him in administration, fucking... It's like, oh no, let me be in administration, because I can take down this bastard over here, you know, it's like, I'm a good guy. Oh my, oh, Jesus fucking god. This, man.
They stabbed Christie in the back. They had the deal, they stabbed him in the back, he's still holding that grudge. This is the part that's not said publicly, he doesn't say this publicly, but he's still holding that grudge. It's one of the reasons why he's running to take him down. It's personal, as well as, I'm sure, political to one extent or another, right? But like,
oh, it certainly is. And that's kind of why I feel like I have a soft spot for him, because, you know, Christie ain't got no intention to win, you know, as a nominee or anything. He just, you know, sees this as personal. And, you know, he don't really give a fuck. He's not there for policy. He's not there for anything else besides just to take Trump down a notch and kind of fuck with him a little bit. And, you know, and look, if he cowers out in those debates, then I'm sure he's going to do that, you know, more frequently. But who's like the next big dog, you know, that's going to be out there? DeSantis. So he might do that too, honestly. Like, I mean, you know, like, the dead ass. He might go after DeSantis as well. I don't know what his positions are with him, but... You know, like, it is a debate stage, so we'll see. You know, it's going to be a bloodbath either way, like, honestly.
He's running a kamikaze campaign because he feels so betrayed by the Trump people. But now, the best debater on stage is coming for your jugular, son.
Krispy Kreme has pumpkin donuts back out. Oh, fuck yeah.
So I want to see it. I want to see it. Look, at the end of the day, it might not make much of a difference. Maybe Trump will keep the exact same lead he has now. Maybe he'll grow his lead. Maybe they'll chip into it a little bit. It's very unlikely that you could actually take him down. But I still want to see somebody finally face-to-face with him, bring him down a couple notches. The only reason why Biden won some of the
Pumpkin
debates
Spice
against Trump
Collection.
is because Trump came across as so over the top and like he was badgering Joe Biden that he just looked,
oh, hell yeah, dude.
impolite, unprofessional. It was scathing.
Oh my god, hell yeah.
It was uncomfortable. That's why.
Oh my fucking god.
Biden, but
yes, yes, yes. All the yes, yes. Let me have all of it.
I think he would probably do a decent job taking this guy down, especially making arguments from a conservative perspective as to how he failed on policy and how he's just a total fraud.
You know, I was going to propose to him that if he doesn't show up,
free 12-pack for every vote. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, free 12-pack of donuts, you know, for every, you know, time you vote for him, bro. Dude, like, yeah, honestly, you know, like, I mean, if Krispy Kreme wanted to make a little bit of money, at least, you know, in certain parts of the country, they could do, like, some regional deals with Krispy Kreme, you know, himself, and just be like, hey, you know, we don't have to do it everywhere in the country, but in places that you have at least some support, especially within, you know, Republican base, or at least in your own state, too, or whatever the fuck, then let's, like, hey, you know, let's partner up with you, kind of boost your name. Join with us.
watch the debate with he, myself, and Tucker Carlson, and you know, do a shot every time.
Oh God, that just sounds gross.
He doesn't drink, but we'll do a shot every time his name is brought up. Tucker and I will be...
Do a shot, but don't actually drink. But do a shot of what? Water?
hammered by that.
Yes, Eric, of course Trump's name is going to get brought up.
It's pretty much the only time I wear my whiteness on my sleeve. What about you? Yeah, for the most part. That and, I don't know. I think so far that's pretty much it. From what I can think of, at least right now.
Leading in the Republican primary field by a lot, and he's also under, like, 78 criminal charges. So, duh, they're going to bring him up, because a lot of those people on the stage, not only do they want to be the nominee, they don't want to see the party get destroyed at the hands of a charlatan, who almost certainly can't win a general election. That, like, of course, but he brings it, like, it would be absurd if they mention him a lot. Of course they're gonna mention him, and they should mention him. Oh my god. I'm enjoying Christie doing the rounds and beating up on Trump, and I hope he continues to do it, because Trump's only reaction is like, you're fat.
Well, he is. But so is Trump.
For you, number one. Number two, everybody knows that. Number three, nobody cares. Like, let's get head-to-head like adults here, but probably not gonna do it. Probably not gonna do it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and...
My goodness, beautiful. I love it. I'll let Krispy Kreme donut just get, you know, in there. Like, let him go to Mar-a-Lago. Like, let him send in the army of, you know, like, fatties, Republican fatties that are against Trump. Republican fatties, you know, against Trump, dude. Make that like an actual pack. Like Christie needs to start that pack. And straight up, just like, you know, like, let them all descend upon Mar-a-Lago, and then have Krispy Kreme and Trump have a belly off, bro. Fucking belly off, and let the best belly win, dude. Because you know Krispy Kreme donut himself is gonna fucking win that shit, hands down. You know he would. Should make Boondocks Luther Burger. Also, it's weird Venom wanted to autocorrect to Venezuela. Venezuela? It's already a word, so why would it want to recorrect itself into another word? Okay, that's just weird.
Let's make the Luther from the Boondocks.
Ooh.
Present to you the Luther, a full-pound burger patty covered in cheese, grilled onion, 5 strips of bacon, all sandwiched between
2 donuts.
2 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Ooh.
Granddad, you can't serve this kind of food to people. It'll cause death. Whoa.
It caused death. Dude, look at the fatness of that bad boy, dude. That looks so dank.
This is what crack must feel like.
Shame on you, Huey. Move out to the suburbs and suddenly you too good for soul food. Perhaps you would enjoy a spot of cheese and a buttered scone, white boy.
Let's make...
Oh my god, that shit looked fire as fuck, bro. That looked delicious. And specifically 2 Krispy Kreme donuts. Or sandwiched in between a Krispy Kreme donut. You know what? Dude, and honestly, it's with, like, the core of what I love about, like, a good burger. Some bacon, some grilled onions. Right there. Like, some bacon and grilled onions on a burger, even if that's literally all that's on it. Oh my god, that just... Especially some nice, good caramelized grilled onion. Oh my fucking god, that's like candy. I love it. Are you gonna come out of that laundry room at all? There's a lot of flies for you to hunt there, buddy. Wait, oh, this one right over here. Wait, is that a fly? Or is that some other... Nah, it's a fly. It was like... It was buzzing around while I looked like a bee or something, but it ain't. Mate, damn it. This fucking charger cord is in the way. I don't want to, like, you know, cause chaos. Had that happen one too many times. Actually, here, hold on. Since that's actually kind of charged up enough, I can squeeze this fucker back over here. There we go. Alright, come on. Swing your ass back down over here, bitch. Get over here. Oh, fuck. Come on. Come on, ho. Let's go. This sign shows definitely it shows that isn't results in net pussy going down. Oh, you talking about that Vosh video? Yeah, I saw it, and I mean it's kind of a no shit. Like, yeah, being a far-right, extremist, hateful, bigoted fuckwit, you know, makes you unbangable to most people. Wow, who would have thought? I mean, you know, honestly, that's just kind of a duh. It's a cycle. Well, I mean, yeah, but one that they continue to perpetuate on themselves at that point. I mean, there's only a certain amount of, like, you know, empathy, or at least, you know, broadly sympathy that I have with, you know, people like that, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, being, you know, down a rabbit hole like that. I mean, it's like if, you know, they're literally gonna, like, tie in all their problems based off of, like, round Nazi ideology because, oh no, Lord forbid I get laid, then I really don't have that much, like, you know, empathy about that. There's one issue about, like, loneliness and relationship stuff, like, that's already, you know, like, a separate issue in itself, but, like, when it's, you know, heavily tied, you know, into this weird Naziistic fucking ideology and shit, that's where a lot of my, you know, sympathy goes really far the fuck down. And frankly, they undermine the whole fucking, you know, addressing of the issue in the first place. Conservatism and male loneliness are unrelated. Yeah, I'd agree. Because they are separate issues, like, you know, like, because, you know, that's why, you know, when it comes to one issue specifically, I have more, you know, sympathy about, but when intertwined with conservatism, because of the far-right conservative, you know, bent around that, that's what I don't got respect for, or sympathy for and shit. Especially considering that, you know, when it comes to things like fascism or Nazis, and considering that, like, you know, a lot of them are genocidally bloodthirsty and are, like, you know, major prominence about, like, advocating civil war and shit. So, yeah, not exactly very sympathetic, you know, about, you know, like, you know, winning them over, really. Most of them are pretty set in their ways with that. I totally felt IMO, but the Nazis are major turnoffs. Yeah. And the thing is, like, because at the end of the day, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter what you really look like that much. I mean, someone's, you know, bound to find you attractive. I mean, fuck, there's a shitload of people, you know, just because there ain't one, like, in your immediate area, like, right then and there, ready to, you know, like, get slayed, you know, by the Husky or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's, like, doesn't mean that that is never around. And that there's also just plenty of other fucking factors that, you know, are a causation to some of these problems. Like the fact that people don't really have time for themselves, or don't really have financial means and abilities to not just, like, you know, have some sort of sense of, you know, sustainability, comfortability for their own lives, but being able to go out and, like, maybe go to a bar, or hang out with people, go to shows, stuff like that. You know, things that would be sociable, or, like, you know, social interactions where you can meet people. Or at least just at the mere minimal, have some conversations with some people, even if you don't walk away with having a friend or something. Feeling is a matter of probability. Yeah, and there's a lot of fucking variables that, you know, lead to that, and a lot of them aren't necessarily in direct control, you know, of you. Like, a lot of them are systemic or outside environmental factors, and, you know, there's things, you know, that can be done to change that, for sure. But, I mean, you know, like, it kind of takes, you know, a lot of different advocacy and different, you know, broader cultural shift, you know, for that. And at least in some part, how that gets done is, at least, you know, for those things that are at least in your control, you know, take action, and, you know, at least some sort of, you know, at least some level of responsibility about that. I mean, that doesn't mean, you know, some Jordan Peterson woo shit. That just means, you know, like, you know, hey, you know, it's like, if there's, you know, things, let's say, about, like, basic action that can be improved on, then just start basic, you know, just, you know, have those teeth brushed at the beginning of the day, and then just, like, do a quick little trim up or something, you know, just something simple. You know, you don't have to do, like, the whole fuck shebang, I mean, but just, you know, get a little something done, and, you know, those small little accomplishments, you know, end up, you know, slowly but surely end up being more bigger, you know, changes and stuff over time. But you can't start big and ambitious. I mean, sometimes you do just gotta start small, and that's okay. You gotta start somewhere when it comes to trying to do self-improvement. a date with him who like Jordan Peterson. Yeah, dude, sounds miserable. Let alone, yeah. Like if you look and smell nice, that's like +3 in your dice rolls. Sure. You know, basically, you know, like, you know, just trim, yeah, like I said, like, you know, doing some base hydrate stuff. Just trim yourself up a little bit, you know, just make sure your hair is conditioned a little or something like that. You know, put a little, you know, deodorant, like a little bloop, bloop, you know, quick little whip. You know, nothing too intense, just a little something, something. You know, and, you know, that's all I really need to do. And then just, like, you know, just have clothes that just, you know, aren't totally fucking dirty. I mean, frankly, you know, this is probably the last time I'm wearing this shirt, you know, at least for right now, just because, you know, it's a little dirty, but whatever. I mean, it's a white shirt anyway, so literally any stain will fucking, like, show, you know, like, the fucking eye of God just staring down on everything, but like, blah! But, whatever. Weird little burp. Every day Cammy curled up and cried for half an hour. Rose knows my after sex routine. What the fuck? Yeah, like a guess, I guess. Damn. So I managed to get laid. I mean, the thing is, you're not even really that much of a quote-unquote slob, dude. I mean, at least, you know, from how I, you know, seen you, at least with your new spot, I mean, you got, like, a whole fresh start. And, I mean, at least with your basic hygiene stuff, I mean, I guess outside of a light little trim a little bit here and there, I mean, you look fine. So, I mean, obviously, I don't, like, you know your exact specific, you know, like, well, trust me, I showed you the best sides of me. Well, yeah, like I said, I don't know every tiny little detail about your life and shit, but at least, homeless according to my mom. Well, I mean, man, she should see some of the punks, you know, around here. I don't mean like punks like you punk, I mean like actual punks like me. I mean, fuck, I mean, I could kind of look a little homeless right now, especially if how my hair is. I didn't brush it yet. Looks all fucking like, I got bed hair right now. Look at this shit. Looks fucking ridiculous. I mean, it looks like all like ratted out and shit. This is the only thing that looks fine. And yeah, I sleep with this still there. It actually really helps with the knots and stuff, because, I mean, again, look at this shit. If I let it free, it does weird things. I have to at least contain some of it. Actually, surprisingly, like, this hasn't gotten fucked up that much. Usually this thing is, like, all the way up here or something, and gets all weird, but I guess this time it wasn't, so kind of surprised at that. Luckily, I guess I just have to fucking, you know, just brush this shit out, and just, you know, and there we go. So, yay. Makes hair maintenance a little easier, actually. Especially with the shaved sides. Definitely helps. Stop being gay, Venom. Well, how about this? Be gay and do crime. Be gay, do crime. Which next one will come sooner? Well, tell the studio executives to stop being greedy fucking piece of shit and, you know, let the workers get their fucking contracts. And maybe it will. I'm on the way. I mean, I am too. But it's just like, man, it would come out sooner if, you know, certain people would just quit being greedy fuckwits. You know, those stupid studio heads. They literally do nothing to, you know, add to the whole, you know, like, you know, when it comes to the whole, like, movie industry and shit. They don't really add anything to it. I don't expect for at least another few years. Or at least as things stand concurrently, yeah. I mean, hopefully, like, you know, the workers are able to win their contract shit, but they're going to be in it for the long haul, so the longer it goes, the longer the movie's going to come, you know, going to take to be released, so I mean, it is what it is. Studio executives are gonna, are gonna be the ones who ultimately suffer for it, not us. No one else will. Outside of us getting pissed off that we don't have, our entertainment coming out when we want it. But like I said, studio executives are one to blame, and might as well just give them the mirror and be like, hey, here you go. You gotta look at yourselves to see what the problem is. And in fact, you're all worthless. You don't need to exist in your fucking industry, but yet you do because you suck. Fearmonger over high stream prices as if the actors get their pay raise. I'm pretty sure those streaming companies will do that as a way to try to undermine the whole contract and shit, and be like, well, see, this is the result when it, they're gonna definitely try to do that, but it's gonna be artificial. Like, they're not gonna raise the prices because, oh, they have to, but but because it is, because they can. I mean, that's really why. For a $20 plan rise. Yeah, and the thing is, they've always been, they've been doing this already. So it's at this point, it's just a convenient excuse. I mean, it's just a way to try to undermine the union efforts and shit, basically. And, I mean, I imagine a lot of people are pretty privy to it, and a lot of people aren't even happy about spending, 15 fucking bucks already as it is for a Netflix or some shit. So, I mean, if anything, Netflix is just going to shoot themselves in the foot even more than they already are with that one. They're just going to try to use that as a convenient excuse. Which, frankly, it ain't going to work. It might work a few people, but not a lot. Hey, Onion Nuggets is gonna be on 5. Sweet. Another 5 man for that, baby. Sweet. Hell yeah. Oh shit, my Telegram thing popped the fuck off from earlier today. Yeah, let's tune into friendship drama. What's going on? Oh fuck. There's a lot. Oh boy. More relationship issues from the G. Oh man, I think his girlfriend's true sides are kind of showing a little bit. She's being a bitch again. She wants to split everything exactly 50-50 now because Harley took one of her fucking sodas from a week ago. And also exactly 50-50, that kind of leaves him out. What? She keeps trying to say it isn't about food, but that's how the fuck conversation started. Well, yeah, I mean, so yeah, it would technically be about the food and groceries and shit at that point, so yeah. And before she said I don't want to pay for any meals. That ain't what? Even though Logan does? Wait, what? Dude, she's kind of gaslighting him about some shit. What the fuck? Including messages to ready to move out, bro, man. Be my phone roommate, so fucking weird. It's just leave, bitch. It's pretty much fun. Don't just you don't scream when she's upset, but I can, and she can make decisions without my approval, but I can't. So she's, I guess, so she can be loud and aggressive, and so what the okay, yeah, there seems like there's some double standard shit going on. Man, he needs to just break it the fuck off already, honestly. I've been seeing this build up, and honestly, low-key, everybody in the group told him so. It would not end up good, and what do you know? It didn't. Bro, man, he really can jump to conclusions a little too quick about shit. Let's just isolate from everyone else. It's in a healthy relationship. She's a little out, wine dime with a quote platonic friend, but it's not for if you go have fun with your bros. Is that a part of the reason why, you know, he doesn't hang out so much anymore? Is because she, like, is like, nah, don't go, remember. Bruh, well, that would, damn it, well, that would explain some of that. What the hell? Man, she really don't sound like, you know, very compatible here. Like, Jesus Christ. Ay, fucking yay. Oh, and then my friend Rip said he has some shit about his apartment. That apartment bullshit is gonna be long term. At least until he gets someone here to tear open the ceiling. Fuck apartments, that's why I don't want them. How long term? What the fuck? They didn't say, just said equipment was needed until they get someone to open and repair the ceiling. Might try to buy AC, but definitely one has AC. Sorry, eSport apparently does, but electric bills are going to be ridiculous with running equipment 24/7. Jesus fucking Christ! And of course he has to pay for that. Find a basis AC unit for under $250. Might do that, but I still have to suffer through the work week either way while I wait for shipping. Oh man, dude, poor Stefano, man. Dude, he got fucked. Dude, man, both of the homies got fucked with different problems, but still. Bruh. Bruh. Man, I like how we're talking about, like, you know, hey, you know, it's like, relationships, guys, blah, 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 blah. And then, like, you know, my friend is like, man, fuck this bitch, she's, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. Ay, fucking yay. Duality of man right there, I tell you what. It's important to make sure that, you know, we can, you know, like, have sociability and this and that, relationships. Meanwhile, with my friend, man, this relationship ain't working out, she's fucking, you know, like, being controlling this and that, oh my lord, dude. Dios mío. Dios mío. If that ain't duality right there, I don't know what is. It's kind of like a Private Joker's fucking helmet, dude. You got like the peace symbol and then like Born to Kill like right on his helmet. It's like, what do you have Born to Kill and a peace sign on your helmet, Private? It represents the duality of man, sir. Do I work today? Yes. I started my stream earlier than I normally do, so I'm here longer. I just want to see if any little critters are outside in this godforsaken heat. I wetted everything down, so fucking. Damn it! Hey, you! Really? Seriously? Really? My God. Goofball. Oh! Oh, there's a little, this little fatty over here. Oh, shit. See? Right there. Hey, little bud. Let's give me a stare down. Oh, you're a big guy. You're a little chunk. What? You just chirped at me. What, you flexing? I think he's flexing. He's just like... Oh, he sees my dog. You're good. I kind of found him going near my little trap that I have right over there, so I really hope I don't accidentally catch this little dude. Because if so, I'm gonna feel bad. What's up, buddy? Man, you're a fatty. What's up? Goof. It's got a beautiful little white fluffy coat. At least underneath. What? Little goof. Ugh, it is muggy out there. Oof. Ugh, man, it is muggy. I wonder how that little fluff ball's handling. You know, we could probably sneak in here. Kind of get a little look at it from over here. Oh, yep, there you are. Here, there you are. I can't really. Oh, it sees me in here. What's up, little dude? Oh, yep, it's a boy. You got some big balls. Dude, that squirrel got some nuts. Jesus. What is with, like, the natural world with having, like, gigantic plums, dude? Like, good lord. Little fatty. Got a big old buffet, though. Little goof. Ugh. Doop. There we go. And you're a little goof. Look at you. Look at the little tail. Who's a sweet boy? Yes, yes, yes. Who's a sweet boy? Who's a good boy? No instant when you get focus trees. Speaking of spiritual country. Spiritual country? Oh my god. But it's kind of about time at least Norway gets, but even Sweden too, like, I mean, they get focus trees because, I mean, in World War II, both countries, you know, did at least play somewhat. Hey! Hey! You fuck! Dude, oh my god, watch this, hold on. He literally just tried to shove his little fucking nose through here to, like, nope, this is my spot. He probably will. What, are you gonna do it again? Go on. Lay down again. Little goof. A little silly. Okay, I guess he doesn't. He's just a goof. You're just a goofball. You're a goof. Ugh. Sad fleas. Yeah. I was gonna give him a shower tonight. Have them all nice, fresh, cleaned up for tomorrow. Would ignore fist fight Putin for Zukov? Yeah. Dude, I would fight to the death for Zukov. Duh. I mean, it is Putin. Would I survive? Probably not. But, I mean, like, chances are that, hey, at least, you know, I ain't gonna go down without a fight. Besides, he's an old-ass, you know, fart now, too. So, I mean, you know, he ain't, you know, like, in his peak anymore. I mean, he'll probably still, like, be stronger than me, though, obviously. I mean, he's still got, like, that brute Russian strength. So, it's just like, I mean, I gotta, you know, be careful about that. But, I'm kind of a nimble, and he's, you know, more older. So, I definitely got speed and agility, for sure. I imagine endurance would probably be somewhat equal, because his age probably lessened his endurance, but he probably would have more endurance normally. Would you join John Wick the entire would you John Wick the entire Wagner group for Zoo? Well, because considering that a lot of them had died in Ukraine pretty pathetically, yeah, I think I could handle that. That one would be a little bit more tough, I feel like, because it's more than one person. I'm going after a whole fucking, like, you know, PMC group now. So that would be a little different, but, you know, hey, I'll make it work. At the very minimal, I'll just, like, at least, you know, be able to steal one of their comms and just, like, you know, listen in. Like, and be able to kind of, like, auto-translate shit, you know, have a little system set up to where I can, like, you know, have it translate, alright, what is it saying? Okay, they're moving there. Alright, cool. I'm actually over here. So, you know what? Let me just set up a nice little ambush position. Alright, let's get this fucking Dishka right up. Alright, cool. Just set right here. Oh, you know, I should probably have some shrubbery right here. You know what? Let me do that. Now, just set up some shrubs. It'd be like, you know, here up, it's like, oh, yep, ETA, let's see, auto-translate, ETA, 10 minutes, okay, cool. Eventually, if I do that enough times, I'll eventually start realizing, you know, what they're saying over time, and be like, you know, kind of get a gist, be like, okay, moving here, and, sounds like a town, okay, so, look at that, look at a street sign, be like, oh, looks like this town that I'm talking about, this one, you know, so. They're mercenaries, not soldiers, they exist to shoot protesters and look gold on occupation. Yeah, they're not meant to be full-on soldiers. That's why they're kind of a PMC group, because they're basically people who couldn't make the cut to be a soldier, or they're veterans who still want to go fight and shit. And usually a lot of them train, you know, a lot of the other people, but, I mean, even they, you know, go out and fight too, but, I mean, a lot of it's more or less just dealing with, like, guerrilla warfare. Which, to a degree, I would be doing that, you know, but as one person, so, but, like, they're usually handling big groups. Not individuals, so, I mean, they would have to, like, you know, try to figure that one out a little bit, because they're more used to dealing with a whole group, you know, especially, so if there's only one person that, especially that could kind of sneak around, very, you know, agile-like, then it would be more difficult to, you know, kind of, like, broadly, you know, like, act accordingly with that. I mean, there's been plenty of times where, like, one-man armies have, like, you know, like, basically knocked out, you know, a lot of different, you know, like groups of troops and soldiers and shit, you know, just, you know, on their own. I mean, there's obviously the whole, like, you know, example of Samahaya, like, you know, Finnish sniper that was, like, pretty much, you know, in a lone Finnish force and stuff, and in Karelia, just, like, sniping off Russian soldiers left and right, and with fire sights too, no less. As soon as happened in Niger with the coup. I guess it's everyone's favorite ministers they're fighting for in it. Wagner. Yeah, I know about it. A little bit. I don't know every little fucking detail, but I'm aware that it's been going on. Well, it's like some fun little military junta of some sorts going on over there, because, you know, that's always great. And of course, Wagner, you know, happens to be kind of backing that up a little bit, you know, so that's even better. Yeah, just good shit that happens in Africa every now and then. Obviously, I'm being very sarcastic. And he closed the door again. Well, not surprised. Supposedly keeping ISIS in check. Well, so are, like, you know, I mean, to an extent, like, you know, special forces, because we do have special forces operators in Africa. You know, so, no. But not with the coup and nowhere money flowing. Well, at least for at least the current time. But I'm sure they're gonna work out a deal with the military junta and be able to keep money flowing and shit. I mean, they're fucking capitalists first and foremost at the end of the day, right? They're gonna find a way to make their buck. Oh, that video that was premiering at 2 finally uploaded from Kyle. we can check this out. Which is also going to be, you know, just some good shit. Because, you know, yeah, because that totally is not an indictment on, like, everything about society, or Texas especially.
This story was absolutely astonishing to me. I didn't know this. I don't think the overwhelming majority of Americans know this.
And this should probably be national fucking news, and, like, frankly, this should be, like, a utter fucking, like, federal, like, resignation, like a forced federal, like, governmental resignation of, like, you know, of, like, pretty much the entire Greg Abbott administration, like, honestly, as far as I give a fuck. You know what, like, I mean, like, we need to, like, I've always talked about Reconstruction shit, but there needs to be, like, example states. You know what, Florida and Texas need to be the first two example states. And I feel like, you know, Texas might just be the first one on the chopping block as far as I'm concerned right now.
Texas Public Radio, they say the following. Texas claims spike in prison deaths isn't heat-related. Study says that can't be true. Let's just get this out of the way up front. That claim from the state of Texas is the most brazen lie I've ever seen. This is
that is just genuinely fucking an utter lie. Like, I mean, that is just, like, basically just literal, like, fake news, like, shit right there, basically. It's like, you know, let's just spread some, like, actual, like, fake information to, you know, like, downplay the actual fucking problem going on here. Yeah. Motherfucker. Hey. No! Damn it. Get back here. There we go. Yeah.
Obviously untrue. So let me give you some specifics here and you'll see what I mean. Texas prisons have seen, on average, nearly 2 people die each day this summer. A persistent...
2 people a day? Oh my fucking Christ alive, date. Stop it!
During the same time period. But Texas officials say they have yet to confirm a heat-related prison death so far this year. It has been more than a decade since the last one. That's despite the state not having air conditioning in 2/3 of its prisons. So the state of Texas doesn't have AC in 2/3 of their...
Wait. In Texas, they don't have AC... What? What? It's fucking Texas. I mean, like, it already was kind of implied as it is, but I mean, like, you would figure, like, oh, they're not functional, or they're broken down, they just refuse to repair them, or whatever the fuck. Like, or something. Like, you would think there would be, like, some caveats, like, oh, yeah, they do, but they don't run, or they don't function, or, you know, because they don't repair them after they break down, or something. Like, you'd think there would at least be something to be like, oh, well, they technically do. No, they just straight don't. Like, it's for high-value business and HVT. Well, I guess that's what the other third is, isn't it? Which, fuck that. Like, I mean, that's just insane. Like...
And 2 people are dying every day. And I was like, no, that's not because of the heat. But it's like 110 degrees. But studies have challenged the death findings. Julie... Trump's
president would definitely have AC. Well, it would be such a shame if, like, it just stopped working.
Doesn't buy that Texas hasn't seen a heat-related death in 12 years. Quote, I think the idea that there have been no heat-related deaths since 2012 is just false, she said. Scarra wrote her doctoral dissertation on mortality rates in Texas prisons dealing with excessive heat. Her findings were published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, Open Network, in November. It's attributed 271 deaths between 2001 and 2019, likely to non-air-conditioned Texas prisons and heat. That's 30 times higher than the national average. What are you even talking about the national average? Like, the fact that we have any heat deaths anywhere in America is a giant scandal. This is...
I mean, and I'm assuming that's just for prisons. And it's just like, that in itself is a problem. Like, that shouldn't be, you know, the case at all. And, like, and also, like, I mean, it's just, like, not only indictment on, like, the administration and the need and necessity to just fucking, like, utterly federalize that entire fucking state and its fucking fly that won't go away. Gonna federalize that ass bitch like a citizen. But, you know, it's just like, I mean, but we need to, like, do that for Texas at this point, you know, because it needs, like, because these fucking prisons need to be utterly modernized, at least to the federal standard, which already is bad enough as it is. But at least, I would assume that there's, AC units in those, at least at minimal, or at least, like, not, prone to conditions where you die of, like, heat illness and like, all that shit. Yeah, I'd imagine that, would probably be, like, a little better. Yeah, probably. But, like, it's just a broad indictment of the entire prison system in itself. Because the fact that, like, there is a national average about this, is just already in the sight, of a fucking, like, bloody, just consequence of our, prison system. Because, putting ACs and stuff like that would just cost a lot of money. We gotta make sure the prison industrial complex, makes a buck. A lot of folks just don't have stomach for that. Yeah, and neither do a lot of the right-wingers either. Some of them do for sure, but not all of them. Like, a lot of them will fucking, bend the knee and shit. And, it's like, if you get a lot of them being like, rise up, if you get those motherfuckers, then just call them. It's like when it comes to the whole, like, Reconstruction and shit, the whole part is, like, if, people start acting up and start getting rebellious again and shit, then they get quished. Squished like a bug. Quished.
Savage, barbaric, uncivilized stuff. I don't care what somebody...
I think more right-wingers are rising leftists. Well, I imagine leftists wouldn't really be a fucking problem in this anyway. They would probably be like, yay, these fucking right-wing crazy nut jobs ain't running shit anymore. I'm pretty sure lefties will be fine. There might be a couple of them that might, be a little rabble-rousey, but I don't think they would be, targeted specifically by this.
Now, by the way, I'm not your average lefty when it comes to crime stuff. I've often said, I'm tough on crimes that should actually be crimes. So I'm okay with murder, rape, assault,
I don't think any lefty disagrees. Like, what, like, typical, what lefty, like, says, like, nah, that's all okay.
Colossal.
The idea of being quote-unquote tough on crime isn't necessarily, like, what lefties are, like, inherently against. It's just what type. Like, what crimes are we going to be tough with? Like, some of them, are more of a consequence or a byproduct of other factors, and you don't necessarily need to be tough on, so to speak. You can have a more alternative approach towards those. So it's like, it's more or less about, like, which type of crimes, deserve to be more tough with versus, which ones, deserve to have a little bit more alternative, approaches with. It's like, I think that's really, what it comes down to in a lot of ways.
Which kicks millions of people out of their own homes, like Wall.
Just say abolish child justice system, everything should be legal. Well, those people are fucking psychotic. Like, anyone saying that shit is just legitimately psychotic.
Yeah. War crimes. I'm in favor of throwing the book at these people. I'm tough on many crimes. But having said all that, this is not in the realm of debate or discussion. We're just not going to have AC in a lot of our jails and prisons, and people are just going to die, and it is what it is. That is flat out state-sanctioned torture and murder, in my opinion. And it's worse than just murder, because you're torturing them the entire time until they die. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice...
This happened a bunch of times, by the way. Like, I kind of am a sucker for some of these, like, true crime stuff, on YouTube every now and then. And a lot of it is mostly because of, like, not because of, like, someone doing, like, some theft or murder or whatever the fuck. Usually because of, like, malpractice of, cops and and interrogations and shit like that. And even if, like, there were to be, like, some crime that was committed by the person, like, the treatment, far excessively outweighs, the crime committed. Like, there's been a few crazy stories, I've seen before. There was one where this guy was caught with, some rocks, crack rocks, and in an attempt to try to hide the evidence, he ate one of them. Like, and the cops basically saw that. It was caught on body cam too, and were damn well aware of that. And what they should have done was send him immediately to the hospital so he could get sunpunked and, and he would have been fine. Instead, they take it to the fucking interrogation room where he's already, like, cracked out of his mind now, and, basically leave him in there to get over his high, and basically dies there. He has multiple fucking seizures and fucking, like, has like crack cocaine poisoning and shit. and straight up fucking, like, you know, dies a couple days later in the hospital after they finally realize that, you know, he seizured up, like, a bunch of times, you know, in the fucking interrogation room. Like, I mean, it's pretty fucking insane, honestly. And of course, you know, the dude who died was a black man, by the way. And, you know, so you can imagine, you know, that also played a pretty significant role to it as well. And it's like, you know, and it's just utter fucking, like, you know, basically torture and murder, you know, by the police, you know, in that case. Like, that's essentially what the fuck happened there. And, you know, and we're utterly complicit in his death. And might as well, you know, like, essentially, you know, murdered him. Because they knew damn well they should have went to the hospital, but they never did. They never sent him there whatsoever. Because they didn't give a fuck. Probably because he was black.
The study's findings, I'm sure they did, and said it didn't consider the listed cause of death which county medical examiners provide rather than their department. Scarha said there are often numerous causes to a death, and just because it wasn't what was listed doesn't mean heat didn't play a large role. Quote, heat exhaustion can be pretty mild, and heat strokes are pretty rare, and there's a lot of things that can happen in between that are related to heat and also cause death, she said. The researchers did not get their information regarding deaths, air conditioning, etc. from TDCJ, said Amanda Hernandez, Director of Communications for TDCJ. Scarha said her information came from the Justice Department. Ultimately, Scarha's work was peer-reviewed, and TPR confirmed that he used standard methods on the data. So they go on here. Heat in Texas prisons. Data from the
I'm sure it's happened in Panama. Oh, I bet.
Show the temperatures in Texas prisons are regularly over what is considered safe in county jails, 85 degrees, and increasingly sweltering at over 90 and 95 degrees for many hours a day. The idea that it can even be 84 degrees, and hey, that's okay, it's not threatening anybody's life.
Yeah, you know, 84 degrees, that's not bad. Ugh, that sounds horrible to me. Fuck that. Like, consistently throughout the day? Nah, that sounds like bullshit. Hell no.
84 degrees, inside. No breeze. Probably a lot of humidity there as well. No.
That's just...
I like it 65 degrees inside at night and like 67 or 68. The high is 69 during the day. We're talking 85 degrees and they're like, well, that's legal and fine. What? But in reality, it gets to 90 or 95 degrees. They say, quote, even for young, healthy adults, 95 degrees when humid can be dangerous. Extremely humid 95-degree days have often been called the limit of the young, healthy bodies. The limit of the young, healthy bodies when it tries to regulate internal temperatures. Even a perfectly healthy person at 95 degrees when it's humid will probably not survive. Because your body just can't self-regulate anymore. It's called like the wet bulb temperature or something like that. But many in Texas prisons, like...
Yeah, it's a wet bulb temp. Which is different from regular temperature and shit like that. Like, I mean, the wet bulb temp is basically, you know, accounts for things like humidity and other variables. And that's basically, you know, like how hot it can be until your body can't self-regulate its own body temperature anymore. I mean, and if you go past that point, it's only a certain amount of time before, you know, you're at risk of death due to various factors. It doesn't necessarily have to be just from the heat, but, I mean, because if you got other pre-existing conditions, those will get exacerbated, you know, a lot more, potentially legit be lethal, you know, that, when, you know, you go for that. So, yeah, not good.
Great health and aren't young. Quote, I'm 47, I have a hard time breathing, I wake up numb, sometimes I put in for medical about this, I'm just trying to keep out of people's way, just lay there and sweat, Garza said. He's an inmate at TDCJ's Dominguez State Jail outside San Antonio. The facility does not have air conditioning in its housing areas. I don't know how this is legal, I don't know how this is allowed. We do this thing in this country where if somebody's...
Because states' rights have gone too far and are an outmoded concept.
If they've been found guilty of something... There's like,
or at least they're really starting to argue for that, at least, you know, to a certain extent. Like, I mean, like, at this rate, it's like, I mean, there needs to be a lot more of a restriction when it comes to the idea of states' rights, because obviously, you know, it's gotten a little way too far on the states' rights idea on this.
Not just sympathy or empathy, but, like, no rational, logical thought about how we deal with this segment of the population. And so it's like, throw them in jail, throw them in prison, out of sight, out of mind, end of discussion. And it's like, no, there's some very basic, bare minimum human decency, human rights standards that need to be met. And this is why some countries don't have an extradition treaty with the U.S. because they view our prisons and jails as like, that's like torture. We won't subject anybody to that inhumane situation. I don't know.
Which honestly, I'm kind of glad that there are countries that, you know, do that, where it's like, hey, we will handle it, you know, go away. Like, I mean, you know, we'll, like, you know, address this with our, you know, court proceedings because you're all fucking inhumane. Fuck you. Which, I mean, you know, so I at least, you know, do genuinely respect that. Like, it's like, I mean, like, it's at the very fucking minimal. There needs to be at least, like, you know, standard, like, you know, at least, like, some European country, I don't know, like, just fucking Germany or something. Or at least needs to be some basic, you know, standard when it comes to, like, you know, conditions, you know, when it comes to these prisons. I mean, it's already a fucking problem, but knowing that this is, you know, another major fucking issue is just fucking psychotic. It's like, another reason why I don't want to go to this fucking shithole state. I mean, I honestly have to talk to my mom about this legitimately. Be like, look, you want to, like, there's some legitimate reasons why I don't want to go. Like, I mean, you know, it's like, but, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, I get it with the whole, you know, thing about, like, you know, family stuff, but, you know, like, my God. This is one of the things where it's like, if I can help it, I want to avoid it. Because, yay. What a fine state of union, I tell you what. Oh, God, these fucking backward shithole states, dude, I swear to God. I'm kind of, you know, curious to see if Onion Nuggets reports on that story. On top of, hopefully, maybe a reconstruction rant by Paul. That'd be nice. That'd be dope. I always like those little rants that he does. I mean, to be fair, any Paul rant tends to be pretty based. But, like, every now and then you'll go on a rant, I'm just like, alright, Paul, you gotta fucking cool it down. Chill the fuck out, but, you know, it's like, that's more like 10% to 50% of the time. Most of the time he's got, like, you know, pretty much like a slimmed down pretty base take. He's got his, you know, finger on the pulse things on that one. At least when it comes to politics, in my opinion. But here. Let's get this last bowl smoked up and get myself ready for work, because, oh my fucking God, I really don't want to be in that heat, but I figured, you know, get there now versus, like, you know, 3:30 like usual would probably be a little better. Just because I don't have to fucking, you know, deal with the heat that would be accelerantly rising ever more so, slowly but surely. Ugh. Not like 30 minutes is gonna make that much of a fucking difference, but still, that little much difference will certainly help. Ugh. Delicious. You. Yeah, let's call it good for this one. All that bad stuff. And of course, be back around later for tonight. And I really hope to fucking God that, like, people just go away. Because yesterday was just so insane. At least you don't have no Monday specials going on today, so fuck yeah on that. But anyway, peace out, and of course, be back around for the next one, so